if you're looking for a job and you're tempted to take something that pays less, a lot less than you should, and hey, if you've already made your money and look, I got another example. This podcast is going to be like 500 hours. And so there's this place that I work, because even I was going to say, well, if you made your money, then you can just go and take a job that's pays a lot less and it'll, that's okay. I could see. And actually I can't, because I coach people and they have their money. And so they're like, well, I'm going crazy at the house, so I'm going to go get a job and I'm going to go be a blank. And so this is a job category then that they shouldn't be in. But they're fairly senior executives who go take a brainless job. And within a week, everybody knows how much they can do. And so the work starts piling on. Mm. And so within a matter of a few months, they signed up for in the case that I'm thinking of, the person signed up for a $60,000 job. They'd had a career making probably 200 and something thousand. Don't need any money, have a retirement. I'll take a $60,000 job. It gives me a purpose. I like the company.
I like what they stand for.
And within so many months, the job has puffed itself up to another $200,000 job. And this person is not happy because she's back to the bad old days of when she was waking up at night worried about stuff and all these projects and how am I going to do all these deadlines
and not getting paid.
Of course she's not getting paid because
she took the job that was lower. I mean, it's not the organization's fault necessarily. No. They're just not paying that close of attention.
Not paying attention.
And that leads to number 2, sin, is thinking that if you do a good job,
they'll notice
and they'll compensate you.
We know and they're busy.
Yeah. They're not thinking about it.
They're busy. Nope. Got a million other things going on.
They assume that if you have taken it on,
you're good.
That you're not saying anything about money, that you're good.
Yep.
And they're psyched to have you.
Delighted. And on to the next fire.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, exactly. On to the next fire. They're not going to, in most cases, generally speaking, nobody notices that.
Yeah. I think that is well worth being the second sin, is this belief that the organization will notice and the pay will follow.
And so let's talk about what you do.
Here's how this usually presents itself to me, is I'm talking with somebody and then they mention something about money and thinking that they should make a little more. And I'm like, all right, well, how much more do you think? And they're like, well, I looked, if they looked, I looked and jobs like mine tend to pay about 50% more. And I'm like, what? What do you make? And they tell me, and I'm like, what? Okay, we got to fix this. Who do you talk to about this? And then they tell me, and I'm like, all right, who are your best allies? And how's your relationship with that person? You need to ask. Do you have any other allies? What's your last big victory? Do you have if you haven't had a victory in the last few months, do you have something big coming up? And you can ask on the other side of that, like the old Madonna song, what have you done for me lately? I mean, so that
was Janet Jackson.
Oh, all right. I always thought that was Madonna. But what have you done for me lately? So you have a comparison. So the number you're asking for makes sense. Here's this job here. Here's this job here. This is what they're making. I'd like to ask for the number in the middle of this. The reason that I think that I'm worth it is this victory here and this victory here, one of which was recent. Will you please consider? And then let them go to work for you. And you'll have helped them help you by having a couple of victories, by asking the right person, meaning usually it's your direct supervisor. But there may be other people, may have to go up a level or more or whatever, whatever the process is. It's different in every company. But the fundamentals are 3 things. Have a reasonable comparison of why you're asking for the number. This job makes this job makes this. Could be external, could be internal. Reasonable comparison. What have you done for them lately? Something that you've done that was a victory. And then you ask with the right person. Usually it's your supervisor.
Yeah, the only thing that I'll say about the asking is be prepared to be put off until the budget is being figured out again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
especially if you got to go way up.
Right. So, yes, strike while the iron is hot on your successes and ask for it and make it known that that's what you're looking for. But be prepared that they're probably going to put you off until the next budget cycle, which will be sometime in that year.
Yep.
And give them a little reminder beforehand. And hopefully you continue to have other successes that you can update them with as to, more ammunition that they can go in with.
Yep. Yep. You ready for a third sin?
Sure.
Not being willing to move. Not being willing to switch companies. Not being willing to take a different job within the same company. To get out of the current box that you're in. I mean, the majority, 60% of these underpayments that we see is somebody who's stuck with a company for too long.
Yeah.
Or, too long is
not too long. It's just a long time.
Yeah.
Because, again, it depends on what, the external market is doing. At best, inside an organization, you're typically getting 3%. But if, the market for your job is growing faster than cost of living, then every year you stay, you're falling behind.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, it's not an altruism to say staying means that you're automatically falling behind. It's that mix between what the environment is doing and then what you're getting inside your organization. And so, and again, most organizations don't do the homework and go, oh my goodness, we're paying this class of people so much less than market value. And so we need to give them all raises unless they're in a labor crisis. So you've been in an organization for a while. That's the tendency. Why that's why the mechanism for why you may actually be getting paid drastically less than if you move to an external job.
Yeah. You and I could talk for a long time about people who've basically changed their entire financial life by moving a job. You don't even have to move the city.
But the reason why people don't move jobs
is many.
But there's many, but it mostly boils down to uncertainty.
Yeah. Sure.
They know what they've got.
The kids are in school.
They know what they've got there. They know the relationships that they have. And that's not invalid.
Yeah.
It's not. If you have a boss and coworkers you love and you're going to make 10% more somewhere else, well, okay. I could see making that decision. 10% is minor, a 10, 20%. Right. Most people will suck down 20% to be in a place that they really love doing something that they feel is important. Once you get above 20%.
Yeah. I think it's important to know this conversation that you and I are having, we're not encouraging people to leave a good setup with people you love and a mission and a company you believe in whose values you support for 5% more. You can, but
there's value in that.
Yeah, we're talking about we run across people who make a third or more less than they should make all the time. And it's an error. Either it's an error of in these kind of big three that we've talked about so far in our discussion. It's the kind of first error you make where you've said yes to a low number at the beginning and that just followed you around like a weight around your ankles. Or second, you subscribe to this belief, if I just do a great job, everybody will notice and I'll get paid more. And that's now what happens when you do a great job, no one notices because there are fires everywhere. And the people you need to notice are insanely busy. And so it doesn't happen. The better I know it's so weird to say, but in some ways, the better you do, the less you're noticed or the less you're, kind of sticking out as, hey, we need to stop and pay this person more. And then the third piece is this idea that, well, I can't move or I can't leave this company or here are my reasons why. And then at the mercy of one employer giving you a yes or no. Whereas if you're willing to entertain the possibilities, then all of a sudden, instead of just one offer, there's whatever, pick a number. But you've drastically expanded the pie and increased the chances that you'll be more likely to get paid what you're worth.